Hello and welcome. It is Debs here. So good to be with you today. I want to talk to you today about the topic of avoidance. Someone has asked me to talk about this, so I will give you what I have on the subject. Now I want to share a metaphor with you. It's a metaphor that I have shared before, but it is one when I was thinking about the topic of avoidance, this is what came to me, and this is what it reminded me of my own experiences of avoiding things, what happens. So this metaphor is a metaphor of the alphabet. So we have 26 letters that make up the alphabet, and with these 26 letters we do all sorts of amazing things. We write, we speak, we do tons and tons and tons of things. Now there's no more than 26 letters and there's no less than 26 letters. But if we were to say, for example, I don't ever want to receive any horrible text messages, anything horrible written with these letters, can we remove the letters from the alphabet that make up those things? Now, I'm sure you know where I'm going with this. If you remove any letters that are in words that you don't like or don't want to hear spoken, don't want to have spoken to you, you also take away the ability to have a lot of words and letters and things that you do want. When we don't, when we obliterate something from somewhere, then we don't get the good side. That's what, when you think about life and what this is here, we have free will. And free will means we can use these 26 letters to say something good or bad. And if the opportunity to ever do anything bad is removed, then we don't have the opportunity for good either. We no longer have free will. We become robots. So avoidance, let's bring this back to avoidance. What I see is that is exactly the same thing. When we want to remove some of those letters so that we can't have bad words or do something, if we have an experience and we don't like it, so we avoid that experience ever again, or if we have an experience, somebody does something, says something to us, anything, and we then decide to cut the chance of ever having that experience out of our life again, we avoid doing those things. We also, every single thing that we do that feels difficult, that feels challenging, that feels, also holds within it a lot of good things. So it's like, if we avoid doing something because we don't like the idea of doing it, we don't get the benefits of doing that thing. We don't get the good side. We don't get the upside to it. And eventually, if we continue to avoid things, our life gets smaller and the possibilities of what we can do get less and less. In the same way that if you eliminate some of the letters from the alphabet that can spell out bad words or can mean bad things, eventually we are left with nothing. We end up with nothing. So when we continually avoid doing things, if we avoid everything, and even some things, as if we use that as a strategy, or just don't do it, just don't bother, or don't go there, or don't see that person, or cut that experience out, we also lose something by doing that. And although short term, when something frightens us, we maybe don't want to do it, as a long-term strategy, avoiding things is a very bad idea. It's going to really, really shrink your world and, take so much good out of your world. And what I also see around this is, initially, when we are doing things, it is worth, if we come back to the word avoidance and look. Now, obviously, I am not suggesting you do dangerous things or stupid things or things, but it is when we are looking and we're trying to avoid something so that we don't feel a certain way. I don't want to do that because it doesn't make me feel good, or I don't want to speak to that person because I don't like the way they look at me, or I don't feel good enough to do those. When we start to avoid things for those reasons, we really, really shrink our world. And initially, when we hold ourselves to doing those things, it can be tough, it can be hard. You know, when I first started expanding my world and first started to, I had to find the courage within me to do these things. And I guess one of the ways that I have seen that I do that is by having these realizations, by seeing that actually avoiding doing that, although short term it feels like I benefit from avoiding doing that, actually long term, you know, I know for me, if I avoid maybe confrontations or avoid conversations with people, initially when I let myself off the hook, I think, oh great, I haven't got to do that today. And then it's tomorrow and it's like, oh, should I do it? And then it's the next day and then it's a week and then I feel bad that I haven't done it. So I don't benefit long term. Immediately in that second, I might think, oh great, I'm not going to do that. But it comes back, it comes back, it comes back, and I just feel worse and worse. So actually finding the courage within me and doing what it is that I am avoiding doing actually is, as a long-term solution, is much more healthy, is much better for me, and is much more, you know, it's much more productive to do that. Now, if you're finding yourself in this situation, be gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself. And I made a video a short time ago called Sin and Forgiveness. Watch that video, because there's a lot to be said in there for this. If you are trying, you know, if you're beginning to put yourself out there and beginning to start to do things that you've maybe avoided for a long time. So watch that video, Sin and Forgiveness, alongside this one, and be gentle with yourself and take this slowly and gently. Don't eliminate any of those letters from the alphabet, because trust me, they can make some amazing and beautiful and fantastic things. And you have the free will. The more that you experiment and go in this direction and see this and look, you have the free will to use those letters to your own advantage and not against you. So I hope there was something useful in here. I hope that was a video that held something for you. Please feel free to comment, ask me questions, subscribe to my channel. And also I'm doing something at the moment called 365 Days of Cracking Creation, where every day you're getting an email from me nudging you gently in this direction. And we have live calls too and interaction through emails. So if that's something you're interested in, please do look at the information below and join us for that. Take care, have an amazing day, and I will see you somewhere soon. I will be back with another video shortly. Bye.